What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we're playing a champion that I guess you could kind of say he's the bomb. This is a highly explosive champion. He is so much fun to play and he deals an insane amount of damage. This is really, if you're looking for a new champ and you kind of want to spice things up, then this is just the champ for you. This champion was also requested by Rolf Eric. Thank you so much for your request. I really do appreciate it. And for anyone else, if you have a champion that you would like me to do a guide on, just make sure to pop it in the comment section below. But today we are, of course, playing Ziggs. So Ziggs is quite honestly probably one of the first mid laners that I played. The very first mid laner I played was Vigar, and then the second champ that I kind of recall starting to play back many years ago is Ziggs. I absolutely loved this champion. You can be such a pain just harassing people all day with your bombs, and he's just such a cool character, let's be real, and especially with this skin. Anyway, all of that aside, let's talk a little bit about what the agenda for today is. So first of all, the agenda, as always on these guide videos, is first of all we're going to talk a little bit about who this champion is for, just like player wise, if you need to be a beginner, or if you're a beginner, mediocre, or advanced player, like kind of if it fits you. And then we'll talk a little bit about how the abilities work, and we'll go into the very detail of the ability, or to the extent that you need in order to understand how every spell, every of Ziggs spells kind of work together. And then we'll talk after that, like throughout that, we'll also kind of go into some of the more advanced tips, how you can exploit these abilities together. So this explanation should give you everything you need about the abilities. Then after, we'll talk a little bit about just kind of the combos, how you want to combine everything, and then we'll go into the overall like strategy of how you want to play Ziggs as a champion. So that's the overall plan for this video. I am playing these games live, so as I've always told you guys, I will try to do as best as I can while explaining, but the primary purpose is, of course, to have some entertaining content that is also educational. So if we lose the game or something else, I don't really care. The purpose is to make this fun, entertaining, and informative at the same time. And for those of you who are not already, make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Like 95% of you guys are still not subscribed, and to the 5% who are, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, let's get started with the actual video. So first of all, this champion is probably a champ that I wouldn't mind at all recommending this guy for. If I had a friend literally just starting out with League, then I wouldn't mind recommending him Ziggs. And the reason for this is that Ziggs, even though like you can play this guy to very high rating, you still see like high pro players. If you go to probuilds.net as well, you see that pro players still play this champion from time to time. He's not the most used one, but he's been used quite a lot in the ADC lane from time to time. So this guide could also apply to those of you who want to play him as a bot laner. You should still get everything you need from this guide. But yeah, he's the reason why I would say that this is a champ that if I had a friend asking me like, yo dude, I really want to play Ziggs, is that a champ for me even though I'm complete beginner at the game? I'll be like, yeah, if mid lane is what you want to play, then Ziggs is actually not a bad choice. The reason for this is that he's fairly easy to farm with because of his abilities. Like you can see just by casting your Q, you're pretty easily gonna hit farm even though you're not super experienced. And that's really going to make a huge difference if you're a new player, because newer players often struggle with getting some CS, creep score, which is short for CS, or CS is short for minion score. And minions, like getting gold from minions, is one of the most important things in the entire game, because 14 minions equals to 1 kill in gold. So if you can outfarm your enemies, you're going to win more games automatically. In a sense, to an extent, of course. So as a new player, getting that extra gold from just using your abilities is going to be super good, because it's just going to allow you to win more fights, because you probably don't have the knowledge about like when you actually win a fight against the laner you're playing against. So this extra goal is just going to help you out a lot. If you are, however, a mediocre or advanced player, this is also a champion that I honestly would have in my kit. He's awesome. He's really good. He deals a massive amount of damage, and he's so fun. So yeah, if you're a complete beginner, definitely go for him. It will be such a fun champion for you. And if you're a mediocre or advanced player who's just looking for something new, then Ziggs is amazing, guys. He is such an amazing champion, such a fun one to play. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing, which is the abilities. So our very first ability is, of course, our passive, and this is what most people don't know. So let's start out with that one. Our passive is called Short Fuse. Short Fuse is kind of an amazing ability that not everybody knows. Like, the thing is that Ziggs, every 12 seconds with his passive, then his next basic attack deals an extra portion of damage. This damage is actually super significant. Like, it deals a lot of damage. And you can see right now it's on a cooldown down here, 4, 3. It just kind of counts down, and you can see now it's ready. Let's see if I can if I can help this. Oh, we got some good damage in there. It just kind of counts down. You can see right now it's 9 seconds cooldown before we get this short fuse back. There are actually a way of decreasing the cooldown or how fast it resets. I'll tell you guys in a second, but you can see now it's ready right here. So our next basic attack deals extra damage. So if we cast it here, super easy to farm with also, and it deals a good chunk of damage if you attack an enemy. So make sure that you utilize your basic attacks, because they actually deal a lot of damage, and they scale with your ability power, meaning that this attack begins to deal more and more damage. Also, it actually deals 100% more damage to turrets, making Ziggs an amazing pusher in terms of pushing structures. Like, pushing turrets on Ziggs is amazing, especially due to his W as well. We'll get to that one, but just his Q, you can see, like, it deals such a good chunk of damage. The thing with his passive, is that it also gets its cooldown reset by 4 to 6 seconds depending on your current level. Whoop, let's get out of this. Just get some damage in on these guys. It also gets a portion of its cooldown reset whenever Ziggs uses an ability. So let's say right now, let's go over and auto attack something. You'll see we'll use our next basic attack, which we have here. You can see it on the buff. If we use this on, boom, now it's on a cooldown. If we use an ability now, it's going to reset a portion of it. You can see it almost reset most of it. Like, it's 4 to 6 seconds depending on level, on your current level. So it's absolutely insane. I think at this level it's like 5 seconds. Yes, it's 5 seconds already at this level. So you can just see how fast you're going to start to reset this basic attacks. Make sure you basic attack and get some ability in between, such that you get this improved basic attack back faster. It's so freaking good. All right, let's get that one. Control ward as well. We're actually in a pretty decent state so far. Okay, so that is kind of our passive. Quickly summing up, your next basic attack every 12 seconds gives you this buff, which basically just means that you deal extra damage on the next basic attack. And if you use an ability, it refreshes 4 to 6 seconds of it, and this, you can use this until it's back, which is super cool. And you deal 100% extra damage to turrets or structures, meaning that you take that turrets down super fast. All right, so that's that. Let's talk a little bit about the next ability, which is one of Ziggs' probably most iconic spells. All right, let's see if we can go down here. I'm gonna put my Infernal. Oh, that's gonna be a kill steal. I'm sorry, dude. Oh, it's not. Nice. All right, we just got the assist. That could have been so awkward. All right. So as you guys can see, Ziggs is also great at helping other lanes, even from afar. So don't ever underestimate that. He's super good. We'll talk about that as we get to the ult. Anyway, Ziggs' Q is probably one of his most iconic spells. This is his bouncing bomb, and it's honestly just as cool as it sounds. What your bouncing bomb does is that you cast a bomb that bounces twice, 1, 2, and then explodes. which is super cool. You can also, if you hit an enemy directly with it, it'll instantly explode as it hits it, which is cool. When this bomb hits a target or when it explodes, then it actually deals some AoE damage, which is actually has a pretty decent range. So don't underestimate this. Let's just not amazing play. I just wanted to see how this guy actually react from that. All right. But it whenever it hits its target, it explodes, which is super cool. You can also, if I could go close to this guy, I can throw it over him if he just would stop running away from me. Let me try and throw it over. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, dang it. This is really bad. I'm probably dead here. Yeah, okay, my bad. My bad, that was terrible. All right, let's see. Our gold. Think we'll just start building. Let's see what they have. Yeah, all right, let's build this. I'll build a little bit extra HP. No, that actually doesn't make... Oh, wait, I can't sell. God dang it. All right, fair enough. I guess I'm taking that one. This was not ideal. That was not a great back. We would probably been able to finish this off. Lost Luden, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so the thing with your bouncing bomb is you can actually throw it over your target, but you can only do that on the initial, what do you see? The initial curve. So what I mean with this is that if I cast... Let's just kill this minion real quick. If I cast my Q, let's see if we can get close to this guy so I can throw it over. That would be really nice. You can only do it on the first bounce. Like the first one there, the second two bounces is gonna hit no matter what. If they're in the what do you say, in the travel path thing. But the first one you can throw over your target. So stay very aware of that. Okay. So that's kind of your Q. You can also make it explode instantly on some walls. Sometimes it's a little, like, it's something that you're not really going to use that much, but like right here. So if they're right at the edge, they are still going to be taking damage, but it does explode on walls if you do it at the right, like at the right spot. But your bouncing ball, of course, or bomb can of course get thrown over walls, etc., which is super nice. Ooh. Okay, now I'll let him. Not gonna do anything. Oh, Fior's up there. Let's go. Rip. That's bad. I won't be able to go up there. Boom. Okay, so that is our Q. Our next ability, I'm sorry, just got kind of carried away with the game. Our next ability is our W, and our W is called Satchel Charge. And Satchel Charge is actually one of Ziggs' coolest spells. But it's very overlooked. A lot of people don't really realize the potential of it, and they don't understand how good at taking turrets down. Like, a lot of people actually don't know. Let's start with the portion that people don't know. With your Satchel Charge, then if a turret is at like between 25 and 35% HP left, then you can actually instantly execute it with your Satchel Charge. The percentage it needs to be at, like the reason why I'm saying 35 to 25 is because it's just like, oh, how fed is that guy? Is he super fed? Yeah. Okay, he's super fed. Amazing. Okay, I'll be a bit more aware of him because I didn't know he was that fed. Oh, this guy. I wish I had my ult. Rip. All right, but that's one of the things that was a little bit harder for me while I'm explaining, is definitely keeping an eye on everything that's going on. Let's just make sure we turn things around. We'll definitely be able to. We are pretty decently on farm right now. It's not amazing, but it's okay. All right, so our Satchel Charge, if a turret is below 35 to or 25 to 35, depending on your level, like how low it needs to be, then you can instantly kill it with your Satchel Charge. And your Satchel Charge is basically this bomb that you place on the ground, and it explodes automatically after 4 seconds, or you can reactivate it to explode it instantly. The thing is, it can kill a turret if it's 25 to 35% HP, or if a like an enemy champion is in it, then they're gonna take some damage first of all, and they're also gonna get knocked. So if I throw it here, you can see he gets knocked up in the direction he's facing from the bomb, or in the direction he is in terms of where the bomb is centered. So it kind of throws them into the air, which is super cool and deals a chunk of damage. If Ziggs himself gets hit by this Satchel Charge, then he of course takes no damage from the Satchel Charge, because exploding yourself would be kind of dumb. But if he does this, then he just launches himself away. So you can see right here, if I bomb, boom, I'm gonna fly away. So this can be used in several very, very cool ways. You can do it over walls. You could go something like here or there, something else, and just launch to the other side of that wall. So it's really good for getting away. It's also good for if an enemy is chasing you. Let's say like a Master Yi is chasing you, then you can put it down, do your W to jump away like this. A cool thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can actually throw your abilities while being in the air of your W. So that's pretty cool. A thing you need to know with this Satchel Charge is whenever you throw, like if you have to decide whether or not to throw yourself away from an enemy or the enemy away from you. And what I mean with this is whether the bomb hits you or them. Then always choose yourself, unless you're of course going for the damage, because you can launch yourself twice the distance of where they're going to travel. In other words, then Ziggs bomb here, this launch goes up to 500 units, while the launch for enemies is only 250 units. So they can go half as long. But the cool thing is if you hit both them and you, so this basically means that ideally if you want to close or make a bigger gap between you and your enemy, then you place this bomb such that the enemy is there and you're oh wow, I'm dead 100%. I was not aware of him at all. I was sitting here explaining in peace and you came in here. God damn it, Fiora. Okay, no, okay, we really need to start focusing if we're supposed to win this game. Then we need to start whoop. Yep, that's bad. That's kind of bad. All right, so that's kind of that one. Also, a cool thing is you can of course use this launch to also chase people down with, or you can use it in a very cool fashion. It's very nice that you can use your W combined. We'll talk about probably that a bit more when we go to combos, but your W to launch people into your E, and that way you can ensure that they get slowed and you can hit them easier with your ult, which is super nice. All right, so all that aside, let's talk about your E, because that's the next one. Your E is called Hex Explosive Minefield. And like, who wouldn't like to place mines everywhere? Like, if you have like just a little tiny bit of Teemo inside you, I am just so tired of that guy. He was literally standing here. I did not know. Okay. Okay. We're 04. What a guide. at least I'm losing with a smile. Okay, so let's just take that to the side. Your E is a pretty cool one. It allows you to place 11 mines on the ground. So if you have just a tiny bit of an inner Teemo in you, then this is so satisfying. And the cooler thing about this ability is that you might think, well, MipZ, if you're playing against the Tristana, how's these mines gonna help you? She's just gonna jump over them. I can tell you that's not gonna happen, because these mines are kind of cheeky. What they do is that they even hit things that are flying over them, which is cool. So even though the animation could appear to be like wow, even though the visualization of it kind of looks like it's not going to oh, boom. Thank you. We need to help Tom. Even though it appears that it's not going to hit things that are flying over, then it actually does. It deals a ton of damage. The thing with this ability is that it deals more damage. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh god, let me get out of here. Whew. Whew. The shutdown. That was not a deserved kill on my part, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, so let's get that one. All right, let's turn this around. I feel like it's getting there. Okay, so your mines, let's just really quickly explain what they do. So now we know that things cannot jump over, dash over, or anything unless you flash. Then they will still hit if you're going through them. These get triggered every time an enemy walks through them, which is super cool. Oh, I don't have my abilities ready. Come on. No. Hello. Oh. That ability is so satisfying. It's so freaking satisfying. All right. So every time somebody walks through these minions... Oh, God. Let me try and help you. Eat that. Yes. Yes. Human. Lie down. What are you doing, Thresh? Why? Why did you go? You knew he literally just ran in there like a second ago. Okay, so this guy, Thresh, no, has kind of a short-term memory. Oh my god, this is so sad. So I literally explained almost nothing because these guys literally just surrendered. Okay, let me just explain the rest. I'm very sorry that it ended. I hope you guys can see just how fun this champion is. So your Hextech field, the E, what this thing can do is it places mines on the ground. The mines gives damage to just like to anybody that walks through them of enemies. So any enemy that walks through them takes damage. For each mine, the first mine deals full damage. Any extra mine deals 40% damage. But don't even though it's lower, it's still very, very good, especially if you use your W to knock people into it, which is super cool. Also, they're slowed by a significant amount when they walk through or when they take damage from these mines, making it very easy for you to hit your Q, hit your ult, hit your stuff, which is honestly super nice. That is your E. That's all it does. It's very fun. And the mines are on the ground for 10 seconds. All right, so your next ability is your ult, and your ult is called Mega Inferno Bomb, and it's the freaking bomb. This, like, imagine that you have the most overpowered bomb in the world. You just throw it in the air and be like, yeah. That's kind of what it does. This bomb can travel like half the map distance, deals a huge chunk of damage. It deals the most damage inside the center of the animation thing, so you can basically see it, and then it deals 33% less damage in the outer ring, so you got to be aware of that. So try and hit the center. A way of doing this is using your W to knock people into the air, instantly ult and cast your E on top of them, and this will slow them and make it almost impossible for them to dodge your ult's center zone. So this is a great way of dealing a huge chunk of damage, and you can follow up with a Q. So that's kind of an insane burst combo to do, using your W to reposition. So usually you'll do something like a Q, W, and then you'll maybe throw your mines, or W again and put your ult E such that they're slowed, and you'll deal a chunk of damage and follow up with another Q. And make sure you get those auto attacks in there as well. Like Ziggs is amazing. So yeah, that's kind of that, and kind of the combo things. Let's talk a little bit about how you want to play this strategy wise in the early, mid, and late game. So in the early game, what you want to do is that first of all, you kind of just want to you want to try and poke your enemy. Like Ziggs struggles the most against assassins, and this means that you want to always try and poke your enemies enough such that they cannot all in, because Ziggs has a hard time coping with all in champions. So of course you can use your Satchel Charge, your W, to kind of try and make distance between you and them whenever they do try to go for an all in. That's what you kind of need it for. But you want to try and poke them in laning phase as much as possible, such that they don't go for that all in, so they know if they do, they're too low, they'll lose. That's your primary objective in the early game. And then you, of course, as soon as you can, and if you have lane pressure or priority, which means that you are pushing the wave, that you are controlling your lane, then start looking for ganks in other lanes. Like ganks with Ziggs is pretty amazing because you don't actually have to always go all the way down there. You can just be looking and be like, okay, I see the bot lane fighting like we did early game. Be like, okay, I'll throw my ult down there. I'll just throw the bomb out of the way and make them just cry. That is an amazing ability. It's so good. So make sure that if you feel like you're not getting, like, if you can't kill your laner, which will happen, then look for ganks in other lanes. Ziggs is amazing at pushing with his Q on minions. And make sure, by the way, I forgot to mention, but your Q, you can poke the enemy by casting your Q directly onto minions whenever they go for last hits. So when they get close to their own minions, then instead of throwing your bomb after the enemy champion, then just throw it directly on the minions. It will explode and deal area of effect damage and hitting the enemy as well, which is super nice. But yeah, early game, try and roam as if you have priority. Use your ult to gank other lanes if possible. If you can help them out, a bomb can really make a difference. Yes, you might not get the kill, but you will probably get an assist and a very happy team. So go for that for sure. In the mid game, it's kind of a lot of the same role. If your ADC and support starts roaming and starts going into the mid lane, then start looking to change lane either to top or bot, depending on where your top laner is. Your top laner should always be the furthest away from the objective. So if he's going bot, then you need to go top. The reason for this is also that a lot of people especially in lower elos, kind of struggle to farm in later game. Like they start playing ARAM, meaning that they're just playing in mid lane and waiting for a team fight. Make sure that you pick up some of this free gold around the map. Don't over push, of course, but just make sure that you get some of that free gold. That's kind of that one. And you still want to kind of look for opportunities to help your team. Try and play around the teammates that are winning or doing well. And use your ult for those guys and just kind of try to help out with that. And yeah, if you start team fighting as we get into the late game, then what you want to do in the team fights is you of course want to sit as far back as possible, and just deal as much damage as humanly possible. The best situations to be with with Ziggs is playing just like around the Dragon Pit, and playing around places that are like corridor, which are very narrow. And the reason for this is that Ziggs abilities are able to hit everyone, which is absolutely insane. So you can sit there and you can cast your ult, you can probably hit the whole team, and just by that ult almost win the team fight, because they're going to lose such a huge amount of their HP while you're raining down your bombs on them with your Q and your E, and misposition or repositioning them with your W, or holding on to your W to peel off for your ADC. As somebody's running to them, you just knock them back again, which is super cool. So make sure that you utilize your W for either repositioning or repositioning your enemies, for peeling yourself, or for peeling for your ADC. It's really good for that. So make sure you utilize this. Also use your E for the slow. Put it in places where people have to run through it. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about your E is that if you place your E into walls, then all of the mines that are inside the wall will disappear. So don't ever try to position it such that all of the mines are not in obstruction with anything, because they'll just disappear. So imagine that you want to get a Kayn out of a wall, then for those of you who don't know, then if Kayn gets slowed by a significant amount while he's going through walls, then he's actually just going to be get knocked out of the wall. So he gets so he's not going through walls anymore. But 6 mines doesn't work for this because they cannot place inside walls. They just disappear. So make sure you always put them where most mines are active. But yeah, I think that is kind of it. I know this guy became kind of weird and people gave up, but I thought it was a really fun gameplay and I thought it was a fun video anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then yeah, make sure to smash that like button. It really tells YouTube that this is a decent video, or a good one. And if you didn't like it, then click it anyway. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed to my channel, then what the hell are you doing, buddy? go ahead, click that subscribe button, join the MipZ squad, and yeah, it's been so ridiculous seeing how much we've grown lately. So thank you guys so much for that. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.